News at 10.
Tonight, crews are continuing to battle the McBride fire in Rio Duro. Here is video showing a helicopter grabbing some water to drop over hotspots. Over the next several days, hundreds of fire personnel are expected to arrive to the area to help fight those flames. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Natasha Paloma.
And I'm Andy Morgan. Officials say the McBride fire, which started on Tuesday, is still 0% contained and is moving north and northeast at this hour. Mandatory evacuations remain in place for several areas as crews work to contain the fire.
To the fact that people have been displaced from their homes, and we know that people really want to get back to their homes. We currently are not planning to lift the evacuations. Again, we just want to make sure that it's safe before we do that.
Now here's a look at the last update that we received overnight. We learned that 2 people were killed by the fire. Their remains were found inside their burned home. More than 200 homes have been destroyed, and officials say that is not counting other structures. The electric utility, PNM, says it is working to restore power to 3,000 homes by the end of the night.
And tonight we have our crew standing by in Rio Duro. KTSM 9 News reporter Shelby Kapp spoke with some of those people who lost their homes.
Yeah, that's right, Shelby. What's the latest up there?
Well, you are looking at flames on the mountain here in Rio Duro tonight. Those same flames burning down resident TJ Montano's home, and he was burned when that fire started. He was flown to Lubbock for treatment. We did hear that he was released today, but I spoke with his friend who lived on the same property who says everything is gone.
And it's just all gone now. I've lived on that piece of property since I was born, and I'm 30, it's all gone.
She says in pictures of the damage, TJ's truck can be seen burned with the door open.
The best I can make of the situation, because he has burns on his hands, head, and back, so I'm thinking that he went back for the dogs.
But the dogs have not been found. Here you can see TJ's daughter Presley with their dogs. Now, when the fire broke out, TJ was at home and his daughter was being evacuated from school, but his daughter is safe.
So we were trying to get TJ and his daughter, and both their phones went straight to voicemail.
Another resident, Larry Puryear, says he was at work at Walmart when the fire started and called his neighbor.
I asked him about the trailers and everything, and he said, "Larry, your trailer's gone." He said, "Mine's on fire now." He said if he would have been a couple of minutes later, he would have had a hard time getting to his wife and 2 kids.
Larry says his 2 beloved dogs were in his trailer.
Buttons was a min pin, and I've had her. She was a family pet. We got her as a pup, and she'd fit in the palm of your hand, and she would sleep here. And then Pierre, he was my daughter's dog.
Larry getting very emotional during that interview, talking about his dogs. Now, both Larry and the friend of TJ say that they haven't even actually been able to go up themselves and see the damage because the roads have been blocked off. Now, that picture that we were able to see from the damage from TJ's home was actually because some family members are firefighters, and they actually sent that picture to the family. Andy, Natasha?
Shelby, we've had that issue too, trying to get to other spots that have been devastated by the fire. Of course, we can't get up there right now. Yesterday when I went there, Shelby, we saw this large plume of thick smoke out in the sky. So what are you seeing right now there on the ground?
So I heard you all saying, about how this fire is moving north and northeast, and that's definitely what we're seeing. If you take a look on the mountain there, you can see it behind me, and it just seems to be moving more and more farther that way to the east, but then to the north where we kind of lose it on the other side of those mountains there, so we can't really see it. So we kind of just see these patches of smoke during the day. Sometimes some flames come through at night. We see these burning embers out here, and when we zoom in, we can kind of see those flames, but it's kind of scattered right now and kind of moving out of our vision here. But those roads, as I mentioned, still closed. We can't really get very close to it as they're still working to fight this fire.
All right, Shelby Kapp reporting in Rio Duro for us, getting all those first-hand accounts of what people are experiencing over there. Thank you so much for your coverage, Shelby. And the village of Rio Duro is still accepting donations, but say they have all been overwhelmed with physical items. So if you'd like to help, you can still make monetary donations. You can contact the Rio Duro Valley Chamber of Commerce at the number you see right there. That's 575-257-7395.
People in Rio Duro community are coming together in their greatest time of need. Today, workers at an Albertson store rallied together to provide food for those who lost everything in the form of a cookout. The store's director said it was more important for them to help those who have been displaced by this fire than to worry about products or inventory.
We have a great team. We've surrounded each other, with great teamwork and compassion for one another. And we've had a lot of team members affected. Some have lost their houses. So when you put it into a grand perspective, it's much less compared to people losing their houses. I could care less about the product.
Volunteers expect more people to come their way as the fire inches closer to homes in the northeast part of village of Rio Duro. For updates on the New Mexico wildfires, head on over to ktsm.com. We've got you covered there as well. And one of the many concerns about this fire, of course, is the weather. The wind that we saw, of course, yesterday as well as Tuesday, dying down a little bit today.
Yeah, that's right. Winds were calm overnight, but now our chief meteorologist, Monica Cortez, she is saying that is going to change into the Easter weekend. Monica.
That's right. So right now, I just want to show you, it almost looks like it's on purpose. Everywhere here on this map, we're seeing nice, calm winds, but we zoom into Rio Duro, and we're still holding strong at 32-mile-per-hour gusts. This is awful situation, awful weather, ingredients for those fires to just continue to spread this evening. Very low humidity for the area, and we're going to continue this way well into the weekend. Now, as of now, Rio Duro still encompasses part of that red flag warning that is expected to take effect starting tomorrow at 9 a.m. going all the way until 9 p.m. That's Rio Duro, Cloudcroft, Alamogordo, Las Cruces, TRC, and it's because of how dry it is out there and because of the winds that are expected to take place tomorrow afternoon. We're looking at 15 to 20-mile-per-hour winds and then 35-mile-per-hour gusts. So still looking at breezy to windy conditions, gusty there as well. But of course, we'll talk a little bit more about El Paso and your Easter weekend in your full forecast. Andy?
Monica, thank you. Two people who El Paso police say were involved in a deadly crash in East El Paso are now behind bars. Police say 24-year-old Saul Gutierrez as well as 19-year-old Kayla Nunez were both arrested on Wednesday. Investigators say early Sunday morning, Gutierrez and Nunez were both speeding on I-10 when Nunez's SUV hit a Pontiac Vibe. The driver of the Vibe was killed in the crash and is yet to be identified. The suspects are both facing charges of manslaughter and accident involving death.
DPS is immediately scaling back commercial truck checks in El Paso after the governors of Texas and Chihuahua reached a deal to jointly fight illegal immigration. The memorandum of understanding was signed today in Austin by Texas Governor Greg Abbott and Chihuahua Governor Maru Campos. It is similar to the one signed between Abbott and the governor of Nuevo León.
Since Chihuahua has detailed a plan to secure the Mexico side of the border, the Texas Department of Public Safety can return to its previous strategy of random searches of vehicles crossing the bridge from Chihuahua.
The enhanced DPS inspections came a few days after the Biden administration announced it would stop expelling migrants under the Title 42 public health order.
Well, a Holy Week tradition returns to the borderland tomorrow morning. The Good Friday Mount Cristo Rey hike is back after COVID-19. We saw cancellations with that the last 2 years.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Gates open at 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. and it's open to all ages. KTSM 9 News reporter Stephanie Shields gives us a preview.
A walk of prayer, faith, and holy tradition. The Mount Cristo Rey Good Friday hike finally back in the borderland.
A lot of people are going to show up just simply because they've been waiting to climb it. A lot of people that they owe their promises to be paid. They've made promises along the way, especially with the pandemic.
Ruben Escandon Jr., the spokesperson from the Mount Cristo Rey Restoration Committee, preparing the 5-mile total trek for months for the public to enjoy.
We're up here working on the trail, and the trail had to be filled in. There were a lot of potholes and stuff from the rain and washouts and stuff. So we're up here, pretty much all throughout the year.
A tradition in the borderland, but this year there will be some changes.
There is no Mass on Good Friday. There's never been a Mass on Good Friday, and there is no actual procession led by any of the bishops or clergy.
There also won't be any merchandise or food and water sales, so hikers need to bring their own drinks and snacks, but bathrooms and trash cans will be available. The organization saying this year has been harder to coordinate.
You know, this volunteer organization is just that. We're volunteers that work on donations, that we work on you know, people's generosity to help us continue. Most of the volunteers that you see here oftentimes end up paying for gas and other equipment and tools and stuff out of their own pockets.
But the love of tradition and the meaning of the sacred land keeps this group going.
You know, so I'm a third-generation volunteer, so I have the memories growing up here of my parents and my grandparents working up here alongside them as they built this.
And for those interested in volunteering or donating to the Mount Cristo Rey Restoration Committee, you can find that information on our website, ktsm.com. And Andy, I remember going there as a little girl, going up that hike on Good Friday, but it seemed like it took so long because I was so tiny.
So you've done this before?
I have done it,
right.
But now that I know, it's like 2 miles up, 2 miles down. So
Right.
it's not too bad.
About 4 or 5 miles round trip.
Yeah, but as a little girl.
How long did it take you?
It took hours.
There you go. Well, coming up, a special guest shows up at a local school. Why Aaron Jones stopping by the Sun City.
Plus spring game, a preview of the NMSU football team with their new head coach.